certainly in the last 24 hours, we got the news that former Secretary Clinton is opposed to it. Well, I actually think that's a function of three things. One is the Bernie Sanders effect, pushing the Democratic conversation to the left. The second, I think, is an effort by Hillary Clinton to separate herself from President Obama. And third, I think, is an effort to wag the dog from her challenges that she's having within the Democrat nomination on email servers and all that. So I think there's some contemporary politics in that front. So I think when you hear some of this stuff, everything has to be filtered through contemporary American politics. But I think in the long term, the future of Canada and the future of the United States, the future is not isolationism. It is not putting up walls. It is not protecting. It's not barriers. You know, this is why you see the instant backlash, not only in Canada to Scott Walker and the slight reference to his northern border and the pushback against Donald Trump on the southern border. Americans, I think, instinctively know, while they're cautious, I think they instinctively know that the future for the United States and the future for Canada, the future for the world, is not about barriers and walls. It is about open access, more markets, more choice, creating local jobs through world access, and I think people instinctively know that. But we'll obviously be paying attention to the politics in the United States, keen observers, but carrying the ball on the ground in Washington will be Mr. Froman, who I know Ed knows very well, and maybe you can speak to that.
Well, I'm not going to get into the politics of the United States.
I can't.
I'm focused on a different election right now, which is 10 days away, and I do have to get back to Abbotsford and make sure that I win the hearts and minds of the people of Abbotsford, which is a great community, by the way, and has been very supportive for many years. But James is correct. The world has a choice, and Canada has a choice. We can either isolate ourselves. Thomas Mulcair has made it very clear in the last few days, he believes Canada's role in the future is to isolate itself from global supply chains. You know, he's part of this cadre of anti-trade activists, anti-globalizers, who would have left Canada far behind in the world had they had their way. Think back to the Canada-US Free Trade Agreement and the debate that went on in 1988. Unfortunately, Prime Minister Mulroney prevailed. But remember what they said. They said the Canada-US Free Trade Agreement and later on NAFTA was going to hollow out our economy. We were going to lose millions of jobs. They said millions. We were going to lose our pension system. We were going to lose our healthcare system. Our Canadian culture as we knew it would disappear. We were going to lose our sovereignty over fresh water. Remember all of that? They're still saying that today, 25 years later. They were wrong then. They are wrong today. Mr. Mulcair would be bad for Canada. He would be bad for the province of British Columbia. We need to engage in the world. We are the very best at what we do. We should not be afraid of competition, and we should not be afraid of engaging with the world. That is our place. And TPP actually places us in an enviable position vis-a-vis many of our other trading partners around the world. As James mentioned earlier, we will be the only developed country in the world to have free trade access to all of Europe, to the North American marketplace, and the Asia-Pacific region. Now, when you're looking at investments, if you're an investor from abroad, say it's autos, where are you going to look to invest? The place that has the best market access is Canada.